the one thing I can't stand is when other veterans get online to bash other disabled veterans because you didn't get the disability rating that you wanted. All I can say is you're going to get what you earned. If you try to get what you desire and you manipulate the system, you're going to get all your shit taken back from you for fraud. Because if you tweak anything, symptoms, over exaggerate anything, and they can tell because you don't have the medical evidence. If you have the medical evidence, you don't have to exaggerate. I won my 100% PNT, IU, and SSDI on pure facts and nothing else. Absolute pure factual information. All I did was tell the truth. As soon as the truth came out and the truth was fully revealed, surprise, I got everything. The truth, telling the truth is the best policy. But you got the Washington Post, jealous veterans. You have certain people that went crying to Congress to bitch about disabled veterans and their pay without knowing what the veteran is actually disabled for and to what degree. I'm going to, if I were one of you, I would be very careful of what you say about veterans, especially if you want to name drop a specific veteran, because if you don't have the file of that veteran, you don't know their disability, you don't know how disabling that disability is, and the circumstances of their life, and you don't have that information, and you just name drop this person, I hope you get sued for defamation. They waited until Combat Craig passed away to drop his name in this bullshit. That's fucking unreal. If that man was alive, he could have sued them for defamation. Like, what the I'm sitting there I'm laughing my ass off because the 1/3 of the Washington Post staff got laid off very shortly after these articles were published. That's mysterious. They didn't specifically tie it into the articles, but the fact that some of you people that wrote these articles no longer have a job with them, that shit's funny. I still have my money, and you're out of a job, and you sit there and bash veterans that have a higher rating. And had a veteran on this app that I blocked that was bitching about him being in a helicopter crash, and he's pissed off about his 60% rating and comparing it to PTSD veterans with a higher rating. No, you don't get to do that. Just because you got injured, the Veterans Affairs acknowledged your injury and paid you, sir, but you don't get to take a PTSD veteran's rating and bash the veteran because that veteran is way higher than you. You don't get to fucking do that because you don't know exactly what happened to that veteran. I am not going to get into my entire life story in this video. That's not what this video is about. My rating is 100% PNT, IU, and SSDI for a very good reason. What they did to me was crazy and illegal as fuck. When they did what they did to me, it was several different felonies. Like, so when the truth came out, they had no choice but to compensate because it was all service connected. So I held the Veterans Affairs accountable to the maximum because they did not want to give me justice. So I got justice in a different way, legally. You can't, like, you can't take your fucking 60% for a physical injury and compare it to a mental injury that is more debilitating than what you have. You might have gotten injured, yes, it was acknowledged and you were paid, but you are not unemployable. You can still retain some form of employment despite your disability. And depending on the severity of what happened to you, there might be a possibility that your body can heal. Might. Okay? I'm not saying it can. I'm saying might, depending on the circumstances and the injury. My disability compared to a physical injury that can possibly heal is my injury is permanent and total, and there is no cure for PTSD. That is why the Veterans Affairs, when they see the situations like mine, they play a lot of games. They played the reason why the judge awarded me everything is because they did not want to rate me properly. My rating was static right off the rip, like immediately. So they knew if they increased me, they were going to have a hell of a time reducing that rating. Let alone, and then the judge stepped in and gave me 100% PNT IU with static disabilities. Good luck with that, Veterans Affairs. That's all I can say. I've been a disabled veteran for 20 years. I've been 100% PNT IU for a full decade now. Yeah, connection to service is 21 years old, by the way, and a full decade at this rate. I have serious protections and PNT as well. So I have max benefits, max disability, maximum pay across the board. And for the percentage of veterans that are in my situation, 0.1%. Not very many veterans have achieved what I have achieved. We're talking about 0.1% of veterans get what I have. 0.1. That statistic alone, I ran the analysis. That statistic alone shows you that they're not giving this to everybody. 0.1. That's the proof right there, is the statistical analysis behind this. Do the math, look up the statistics, and crunch the numbers. Tell me what you get. So you are getting jealous over something that is very difficult to achieve, and rightfully so. This is not magic. This is documentation and factual information, and the fact that the law was broken several times over. That's what resulted in this. So when you get on here to insult veterans and bash us for collecting what is owed to us, and this is owed to me for the rest of my life, when you do that, you look really bad. Go live your life and stop pocket watching us, because our pockets are none of your business. If we get on here and show off a brand new car or show off a house or whatever, that's our personal business. That is all right. That is all right. I can afford all of these things. But you know what? I don't have all these things because I choose to keep the money in my pockets. That because my thing is video games. So I like to spend money on video game systems. I like to spend money on video games. I like to have money in my pockets to purchase whatever technology upgrades I would like to purchase. Other people, they want a house. They want a Ford Mustang or whatever kind of car, Hellcat, whatever. I don't need all of that shit. I don't need to show off to the outside world because I don't go outside. So why do I need a Hellcat or a Mustang in my driveway? For what reason? To show off to people that I don't hang out with, right? Okay. So I don't need a car. I'm selling the car in 2 years, shutting down the garage. I put my car in storage and permanently pulled myself off the road. So there's no showing off to the world. Everything I have is inside my bedroom with a video camera, watching it and recording it. So this is whatever I have in my bedroom is what I'm proud of most, because this is stuff that I've been wanting since childhood, and I finally get what I've been desiring since I was a kid. This is the life I wanted. Some people, they get money and they're like, look at me, and then they get the most expensive fucking car to piss somebody off. You got a depreciating asset to piss off somebody. Lovely. Or they get a fucking house and overextend themselves on this fucking house. neighborhood we live in is not exactly the best neighborhood, but it's cheap. It is fucking cheap as fuck over here. I said, okay, hey, I can deal with this. As long as I stay inside and the outside world stays out of my life, I'm good in the cheap neighborhood. I've been living life like this for a minute now. The only time I get pissed off is when people come knocking on my damn front door. That's when I get pissed off because I don't go out there. So for you to come and hit my door, you're gonna have a problem because I am inside my house so much. Like I will fly into a rage if you hit my door and you're not invited. That anger is justified because like literally nobody called you over here. So, and I'm about to put no trespassing signs all over the property. There'll be a trespassing sign on the door, a trespassing sign on the lawn over there. No, like you ignore my no trespassing sign, you're gonna get what's coming to you. So, I usually stay to myself. I am married, and I take care of my family, and that is the only thing I'm concerned about, is making sure my family is taken care of. But if you're one of these veterans that are upset about veterans with higher ratings than you, please go somewhere else and mind your own goddamn business. I'm out of here.